Sebastian, let's talk about that injury. Can you tell us about what happened? It was weeks before the fight, and how are you feeling with the hand?
Oh, we're feeling great, That's why we're here. This fight is a fight that everybody wanted to see, so, we're happy to provide. But it's just, one of those days that go wrong, and, you can't fight it, So, you just got to roll with it and wait for the next date or wait for it to heal.
And obviously, giving you another 5 months to prepare for Keith Thurman. Have you been watching more tape on him, or have there been anything that you've been doing in addition, with this extra time to prepare for Thurman?
But of course, the more time, the merrier. We're ready to go. March 28th will be a great show for Fundora.
Keith, we talked about the injury. Obviously, you wanted to collide with him back in the month of October. Now it is March 28th. At the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. But given that time to prepare and also bring in other sparring partners, do you think that that's going to benefit you?
We have some great sparring partners last time. Most of those guys will be able to come back. One of the gentlemen who was unfortunate, we'll be able to bring him in actually this time. So I think sparring is going to be really solid. And just looking forward to it, man. We were in preparation. I was starting to get used to the height and reach discrepancy, and that just makes it from the beginning of camp. I have muscle memory that I will already be activating where, to be honest, it was a very new experience. Never before in my camp was I sparring gentlemen 6'4", 6'6", in preparation for Fundora. So it being as unfamiliar this time is starting to feel a little bit more familiar, and that gives me more confidence leading up into the 28th.
So the extended training camp is going to be a benefit for Keith Thurman as we head into Saturday, March 28th.
It should be a benefit for both fighters. Like he said, it's preparation. My old original coach, Ben Getty, he used to say, you do your homework, you pass the test. So we were already getting ready for the exam, and now we just have more time, more preparation, and I plan on passing with flying colors.
Now, Keith, for you, you headlined the first ever PBC event at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in March of 2015. Now, as we are looking ahead towards March 28, 2026, is this like a full circle moment for you?
This is the beauty of boxing. This is the beauty of legacies and stories like myself, Keith one-time Thurman. Not only did I kick off PBC at the Garden Arena, I also lost the world title in 2019 at the Garden Arena. And now, 7 years from then, do I have an opportunity to reattain another world title at the Garden Arena. This is what boxing is about. This is what history is about. And I'm just so grateful to have this be a part of my story. But the challenge is not over. We have more than a tall task waiting for us. But just like David versus Goliath, I just got to hit him with one rock, and the fight's over.
Now we'll turn our attention to the champion, Sebastian Fundora. When he says he only needs one shot to knock you out, and he obviously has that T-shirt of timber, what do you take away from that, Sebastian?
All that, just talk, it's talk. Of course, he's an experienced fighter. Anything can happen in boxing, but that's what we train for, We train very hard for this opportunities in our life, and, again, just like he said in boxing, this is what makes boxing beautiful. Anything can happen, but we train hard, and when you do that, things come out your way.
Obviously, Keith Thurman is so well accomplished. He has done so much over the course of his career, headlining event after event. You are now on that pathway as well. What would it mean for you to get a win over Keith one-time Thurman on Saturday, March 28th in Las Vegas?
It's another highlight to our career, It just shows us that we're going in the right direction, taking the right steps, I'm grateful for this fight. I'm grateful.
It would be the greatest accomplishment of your career, Fundora. Don't lie to yourself.
Well, yeah. And then, again, I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for the opportunity, and, let's keep it going.
From your standpoint, as you prepare to walk out there to the MGM Grand Garden Arena, you and your father, your sister, you're all students of the sport of boxing. But what's it like in this massive fight to be competing there at the MGM Grand Garden Arena as the headliner against Keith Thurman?
Yes, this is my third time fighting in the MGM. So first time we fought on Wilder and Fury 2, and we were the opener for TV, you know, and that moment right there, I think that was my first pay-per-view fight, you know, so I was pretty excited about that. Then the next one, we fought with Tim Tszyu for the second fight, and we were the co-main for Pacquiao. So that was big right there. And now we're headlining our first pay-per-view fight with a great name, and you know, we're just, again, I'm grateful. You know, there's a lot of opportunities in life. You know, this is one I don't want to miss.
Keith, from your standpoint, as we look at, you clearly have the experience. You've been around, as we talked about. You were going ahead and headlining cards before even Sebastian made his pro debut. He turned pro in September of 2016. You were headlining in March of 2015. How much of an experience factor is that going to play in your favor?
We don't have to count the gray hairs that are popping up here, Marcos. But, you know, I've just been here for some time, man, and boxing's beautiful, and it's different. It's different at the top. You know, like I said, the stories, the legacies, this is what boxing is all about. You just heard Sebastian tell you that he was the opening fight. He was the co-main fight. And now it is his name under the bright lights. That is the headliner fight. You know, he's living the dream of being a boxing champion, of what we spend so many hours and years of preparation for in the gym, you know. But for me, at the same time, we had great champions, Muhammad Ali, Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Oscar De La Hoya, you know. And to me, the real great champions are the type of champions that rise up, stumble, some fall, but only to rise up again. And that's what your man Keith One-Time Thurman is trying to do right here, right now, come March 28th.
A win against Fundora, does that stamp your ticket into the Hall of Fame unequivocally?
Definitely. I'm already stamped from what I accomplished down at 147. We have a fight jacket that's already sitting in the Hall of Fame, you know. But what I love about this fight is there are only so many fighters from my generation that are even here today, right? I mean, off the top of my head, I say Canelo, Thurman. Where's the rest? Where's the rest? You know? And we all have our own times. There is a plethora of young talent that is taken over throughout all the divisions in boxing. And Fundora just happens to be one of them. I believe in my skills and my talent, that the type of veteran that I am, I'm 37, people. Go ahead, make me the gatekeeper. Make me the gatekeeper. Mortal Kombat, just like my shirt, people, I'm the final boss. Come see me. It's Thurman versus everybody. I told you. Send the contract. I told you. Stop playing. I'm getting older. I don't got no time. Line them up. You want a piece, you can get a piece. He's the towering inferno. But never has this man been on my level.
What's your response to that, Sebastian?
Oh, March 28th, we'll see what's all the buzz.
It's not talk. You have been hit. You have not gotten up off the canvas. You have experienced pain. And it will be my pleasure to help you relive that experience once again. Flashback.
That's boxing. You know, it happens in boxing, but you know,
it's gonna happen again in boxing.
We live and we learn, and we'll be there March 28th to show you what we're about.
You're gonna learn. I'm the professor. You're gonna learn, and you're not passing this course, homie.
By what he's saying, Sebastian, do you think he's underestimating you?
I think everybody does, but you know, again, it's part of the game. You know, sometimes they don't think you're that guy, and sometimes they do. But whatever they say, you know, you just got to go out there and show what you're made of.
A key component to your success, you're known as the Towering Inferno for a reason. And a part of that moniker is because of your pressure. You throw punches and bunches. You're so aggressive in gearing yourself to fight fans around the world. Do you believe that the pressure, your aggression, is going to wear down Keith Thurman? You are now 28 years of age. You would gather that you're technically in the prime of your physical career. He's mentioned he's 37. You're 9 years younger. Are you going to try to push the pace on Saturday, March 28th?
Most definitely, most definitely. You know,
He's too scared. He ain't gonna do it.
That's
he
what
ain't
we
gonna do
have,
it. He's
but-
not pushing nothing.
but,
Once he feels
yeah.
his power, he ain't gonna do nothing. He's gonna go back to the Tim Tszyu fight one. Please don't. Please stay away. Please stay away.
Either way, we still won the fight, so you know, it is what it is. And
Not against
anyway,
me, my man. That shit
anyway,
ain't gonna work against me. I promise. I promise. Please get a better game plan. Please. Pretty please.
either way, we plan on becoming victorious with that fight, and you know, again, we'll get the job done.
Something from your skill set, from a weapon standpoint, that we have seen evolve that has benefited you has been your ability to use the jab. Before, back when you made your prime television debut back in April of 2018, you were an aggressive fighter, but fighting on the inside. Now you're using your physical attributes, your height, your jab, your distance, your reach. And do you believe that that's going to be a big factor in this fight against Keith Thurman?
It could be. It could be. It's whatever he displays. You know, we have to think about what we're doing in that ring and what works. But depending on what it comes out, we'll be ready for it.
Keith, how do you get on the inside, and how do you deal with this height disparity? Not giving away your game plan, obviously, but
No, I said it earlier. He will make mistakes. He will easily make mistakes. Just, he's always, what he's learning to do, it's new. It's new to him. He has not mastered the new tactics, and he can't remaster it with 5 more months. None of that's enough time to master changing your style. He has the way he's been boxing since he was a young man. You know, like you said, he used to just come in. I remember when he first hit the scene, everybody said, who is this tall guy who just doesn't know how to fight on the outside? He's just constantly in on the inside. For, you know, it made great fights. It was very entertaining for us, but it made other people just scratch their head like, why doesn't he just work behind the jab? He's coming along. As Tom Brown mentioned, each and every time, he's getting smarter and smarter. But there are many different meanings behind the name One Time. We have 12 rounds. He will make one mistake, and that one mistake will be one that he will not be able to recover from.
did that win against Brock Jarvis, because you got that knockout finish, did that sort of reignite that, you know, aggression, that nastiness that Keith Thurman had, you know, years ago? You fought a lot of world-class competitions and guys weren't going away. You were getting the victory in these barn burner of a fights, but did that reignite the violent Keith Thurman?
You got to witness the knockout. Keith Thurman was capable of knocking out Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. I mean, everybody. Everybody. The difference is, it's not what I did in the Brock Jarvis fight. It's what I did before the Brock Jarvis fight. Is that I demand within myself that we stop playing games. It's okay. You've done lots of boxing around the ring. I will use tactics. I will not stop tactics. But it's time back to the fundamentals of the pain game. That when I hit you, I'm coming to hurt you. And I'm only getting, they don't pay overtime. There's no overtime in boxing. Let's wrap this up, huh? 4, 5, 6 rounds. We can have an after party, and I can get back to my wife and kids.
So are you saying you're going to knock him out in the fight?
It's not a bad bet, people. It's not a bad bet. Money, money.
Sebastian, what he's saying, he's issue off. First, I want to talk about the fact that he's
Watch
claiming
what
you're-
happens when I touch that chin. His, man, 6'5" is not his chin, people, okay? His chin ain't up there, all right? His chin is easier to reach. Watch what happens when I hit this man's chin. I promise he gonna do a pretty little dance.
Does he have the work to knock you out?
In this sport,
Amen.
In this sport with these gloves, you know, anybody could do anything. So, you know, but just like he does, I also have the power to do it too. So, you know, we just gonna have to see March.
They keep
28th.
getting up,
We'll
though.
have to see March 28th.
You knock them down, they keep getting up, though. See, that's something that I analyze, right? You want to see a man's power. When they go down, they keep getting up. So that gives me hope. Even if I go down, the odds are, the odds for the odds folks, the odds are Keith Thurman's getting back up. Believe that.
When he mentions about that, you're going to make that one mistake. How do you make sure that you don't make that mistake, and how do you apply your pressure to make sure that he makes mistakes?
Just in that, you know, you just do it. You know, there's no mind games in this sport. There's just doing it. You know, some people, when they get into that ring, they don't do what they're supposed to do. But that's the game plan, just to go in there and do what I'm supposed to do.
We've heard about what Keith Thurman wants to do to you, and he says he's going to be able to finish you off in the first half of the fight. But how does Sebastian Fundora, the towering Inferno, how do you envision this fight going down on Saturday, March 28th?
A great victory. You know, if he plans to come in those first 6 rounds or the whole fight, you know, we're no strangers to fighting or fighting on the outside, inside, whatever it is. I think we definitely have enough experience to get the job done.
We've seen you be able to systematically wear down your opponents with your volume, with your jabs, and you just continue to pick up steam as you come along in the fight. It's almost like an avalanche. Do you think that he can deal with that kind of avalanche and with that kind of aggression as you get into the championship rounds, if it makes it to that point, 10, 11, 12?
We'll see. You know, March 28th, we'll see.
A high-contact fight, Keith Thurman, does that favor you or does that favor him? Because both of you guys like to stand and bang during the course of a fight.
Say that again.
A high-contact fight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a high-contact fight, you know, he would have to be making contact and not allowing me to make contact, okay? I don't need a high-contact fight. My name is Keith One-Time Thurman. What do you want? You want how many punches? You want punches and bunches? Man, we can do it, combinations here and there. That's not what I'm looking for, people. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that one time. Man, I want to put them out, night, bring the pillows, sleep tight. I mean, and the new. You know, we're trying to make history, man. Trying to make history, and we want to have a ripple effect throughout the world of boxing. You already know how this game is. You are only as good as your last fight. Well, my last fight is about to be this fight. This fight. 30 years in the game. Keith Thurman is going to reestablish his name on March 28th by demolishing the towering Inferno. If you don't see it already, that's okay, I do. Tune in. Witness history.
Sebastian, I will close it with you. What do you want to tell Keith Thurman and the entire world before we get to Las Vegas, Saturday, March 28th, when you defend your crown against the former unified welterweight champion of the world in Keith One-Time Thurman?
We'll see him there, March 28th. You know, we have 2 months to go, I think. We'll see him that fight week. Hope he brings his best.
What a matchup.
Buy your tickets, people. Buy your tickets. Get them ready while they're hot, while they're fast. You got to get them now. They're on pre-sale right now. Tune in. Grab them. They're going to go. I promise you. People. They're going to go. The front row, get your tickets. Second row, get your tickets. In the bleachers, get your tickets. This will be the fight of the year. It's already happening. Don't worry about what's coming before, what's coming after. This is the fight. March 28th, Amazon Prime, Fundora versus Thurman. Let's go.
All right, Keith, one-time Thurman, Sebastian Fundora. We wish them the best of luck and look forward to seeing them in Las Vegas. And for some reason you can't make it to the fighting capital of the world, you can purchase the pay-per-view. PBC pay-per-view on Prime Video or traditional cable and satellite providers, as well as PPV.com. We're going to pose the fighters off, and we look forward to seeing all of you in Las Vegas during Fight Week at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Yep. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it, sir. Appreciate it, champ. Great seeing you, Sebastian.